Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the CanadianGameDevs.com podcast, episode number 154. We've done it, Steve. We've eclipsed the years Canada is old.
Yeah. Take that, Trudeau.
Take that, Trudeau, indeed. For those of you who don't know, this is a weekly show covering all the games made in Canada and the people who create them. Of course, we mean Canada, like the nation state, not the community of people who lived here for millennia. Just thought I'd point that out. My name is Steven, spelled the PH and an A. One of the main people behind CanadianGameDevs.com. Joining me, of course, the other main dude, Steven, spelled the PH and an E, but we just call him Steve to avoid confusion. And so far, it seems to be working.
Yo, what up? It became confusing when you and I, two Stevens, played Fall Guys with two Chris's.
Yes.
But neither of us call our friend Chris Christopher or anything like that. So it became very confusing.
Yeah, on what was that, Friday? You were like,
Tuesday,
my friend Chris is gonna play with us. I'm like, no way, my friend Chris is gonna play too. I'm like, wait a minute. And then every time we made it to like the top 7 or 5, we were like, there's a like 20% chance that Steve wins this. At least.
I won my 6th match this morning. So
6th. I've still only won 3.
I'm so upset because I used my crowns on like bullshit non-legendary items, and there's like a legendary item, and I don't care what it is. It's just that there's a trophy for legendary items, so I'm kind of upset with myself. But anyways, we'll talk about
they added some other Devolver characters. I want to get Jacket from Hotline Miami.
Oh yeah, no, that's what it is. You need 5 crowns to get that for the top, and then 5 crowns for the bottom.
Man, one day.
And you can't buy crowns, right? So anyways, we'll talk about it.
You can't. We'll talk about it at the end. And that's also not a Canadian game, so screw them.
Yeah, fuck Fall Guys.
Yeah, for those who don't know, CanadianGameDevs.com is supported by our amazing patrons over at patreon.com/CanadianGameDevs. If you want to support us there, you'll get special 2-day early access to the show, a Patreon exclusive channel on our Discord, occasional game key giveaways, discount codes to Canadian gaming events, and so much more. We start the show with events, Steve. We have 4 events to plug this week. The events aren't happening this week, but we're plugging them. First, Dames Making Games is having that Haunted Discord RPG game Saturday, August 22nd at 2 p.m. Eastern. You can still sign up for that. Go to dmg.to, I think it is.
dmg.to, yeah.
/events to find that one. If you like Discord and RPGs and spooky stories, this is for you. Or if you just want to hang out with cool people. And
I like 2 of those things.
Dual RPG. Exactly. Wait, which one don't you like?
I'm not big on spooky. No, what I'm not big on spooky or horror stuff. I like my horror video games, but when it comes to like movies or books or TV shows, I tend to stay away.
Okay. You also might be interested in the Women Game Jam Canada, happening Friday, August 21st to Sunday, August 30th, week-long game jam, 4 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. on the Sunday. Sorry, 4 p.m. on the Friday to 5:30 p.m. the next Sunday. This is being put on by a few people out in BC. It's a creation marathon that aims to promote the empowerment and growth of women in the video game industry. Women Game Jam Canada 2020 will be making games in parallel with participants in 8 countries across North and Latin America. Check that out on our site, CanadianGameDevs.com/events, Women Game Jam Canada, and definitely register for that if you're interested in participating. And then the last 2 events, we've been plugging every week. Game Dev Atlantic, happening this fall. You know the drill. All-day speakers, open to everyone online. Don't even need to be out here to go. And Game Devs with Color Expo in September. Great talks, great panels, great workshops. Go check those out. Let's plug our jobs, Steve. We have 2 jobs for the people at home. First up, Pixelnauts looking for a 3D animator and a community manager. They, of course, coming off the heels of Lost Orbit Terminal Velocity on Steam and Switch, so you should definitely check out that game if you want an idea for the type of game the studio is capable of making. They're hiring for their new unannounced game. The 3D character rigger animator will need to have experience with Unity and 3D Max. It'll be a 2 to 3 month contract. You can work remotely. Ideally, some experience animating and rigging characters, especially in the video game industry. For the PR community manager, they're looking for another contract. This one's 6 to 7 months, but ideally longer. They're looking for someone who has experience with social media, mailing lists, Discord, can help develop marketing and release plans. Also can be done remotely or at their studio in St. Catharines. And ideally experience running early access and Kickstarter. Wink, wink. Scoop. Check out that job, canadiannevs.com/jobs. And we're also plugging jobs for Canuck Play, who are looking for a Unity game developers and a QA tester. So first up, looking for a full-time senior Unity game developer with 5 years experience, published titles, strong knowledge of C#, Unity, 3D game experience, and console experience. They're also looking for a full-time Unity game developer with 3 years experience on published titles, strong knowledge of C#, Unity's UI system, 3D game experience, etc. And a part-time QA tester who they will be looking to take on 2 days per week, with that increasing during the last weeks of production, with a good understanding of the game QA process, strong communication skills, knowledge of Jira, which is like an issue bug tracker software, and previous game QA experience. So if either of those 3 jobs sound like the one for you, and you would like to have your name in the credits of Doug Flitty's Maximum Football game, definitely check that out on our site, canadiannevs.com/jobs. Feels good, Steve. Feels good.
It does.
Does feel good.
Get
now
that
on
money.
to the news. Get that money. Get paid. Make games. And yeah. But now let's move on to the news. I got 4 stories to plug for you this week, Steve. First up, Vertex Pop, one of my favorite studios, making my favorite Canadian game of the year so far, Super Crush KO, are bringing their debut game, We Are Doomed, to the Nintendo Switch. So this game came out in 2014. It's kind of like a twin-stick shooter, but the art style is what really, I think, makes this game stand out from the rest. This game is like a seizure warning required for the amount of just flashing bright neon colors and triangles that explode every time something dies. I like it.
Yeah, it fits well on a portable, because I actually played most of this game on Vita. RIP. And it's like, it's meant, like, for me at least, it's like one of those games where I play, like, you know, for 10-15 minutes here and there, and then I just, like, I don't play for a little bit. And so I think it's like, it suits the portable nature pretty well for Switch. So I would, we have codes, we can't say anything, or actually I haven't even played the Switch version yet, but
I've played it
next, because I think the embargo is like the middle of the week, right? Because it comes out the 13th, I think, August 13th.
I think it comes out, oh, it's in the article here. It comes out on August 13th. It'll be $7.99 with a 15% launch week discount. And if you purchase Super Crush KO or Graceful Explosion Machine on the Switch, you will receive a 40% discount.
I like that. I wish studios would do that more often. For just like, I know certain studios are doing it, because I know, like, even like Superhot gave away the sequel, didn't they?
Oh yeah, it was free if you own the first game.
Yeah, so I hope studios kind of do this more often. I've seen it a couple times where it's just like, yeah, if you own one of the games, you get a discount on the other one. I'm pretty sure Drinkbox Studios did that too when they released Guacamelee 2 on Switch. Yeah, We Are Doomed. Like, I haven't played the Switch version, but I really dug it on Vita. It's good. So
also, I misspoke. The game originally came out in 2015. I think what I'm thinking of is on their press kit. They say founded in 2013 or 14.
Yeah, it was. I think it was originally a Steam and PS4 game, and then they ported. They ported it to various things. But I'm still waiting for that Super Crush KO PS4 port. So.
Oh yeah.
Which I don't think is official yet. I'm just saying.
No, but ideally, maybe it'll come to PS5. Just skip it.
Maybe. Well, maybe. Wouldn't the thing to do is to, like, port it to PS4 and then just make it playable on PS5?
I'm sure it's more complicated than that.
I don't know. No, you just flip a switch, I thought.
File save as PlayStation 5.
Yeah. You change the .ps4 file name to .ps5 and there you go.
Bada boom. Hey, don't even worry about it. All right, next game, Steve. Undermine is out now on Steam and Xbox Game Pass. This is a 2-person studio out of Vancouver and Seattle. The Canadian angle here is Vancouver-based engineer Derek Johnson has been working on this game for several years. It's been in early access for a while. It's now out of early access on Steam and on Xbox Game Pass for PC and Xbox One. It looks really good. It's a rogue-like with a bit of RPG tossed in, per the Steam description. Adventure deep into the Undermine and discover powerful relics, deadly enemies, hidden secrets, and a few friends along the way.
Yeah, I played this a little bit last night, and I really dig it. Like I've said numerous times, like roguelikes, it needs to have that RPG-ness to it. I can't just like go forward with like knowledge, knowing that I know extra stuff. Like I need a little bit of like progression in it, and so you do get that from this. It's kind of a mix. It's basically like Binding of Isaac in terms of like the levels. Like they're the Legend of Zelda squares or whatever, and the maps are, they're probably randomly generated and whatnot, but everything's sort of like it's just a square, and then every room's different. But yeah, I played it and I really dig it. I want to play more. I did lose my save though, and I don't know if it's just me being stupid, but so I did lose some time spent
Some
there.
progress.
Yeah, it's progress, but
I did download it on Game Pass on PC, so I'll try and stream it sometime soon so we can get some impressions in video form.
yeah, it's
speaking
sweet,
of speaking of roguelike, Steve.
oh.
This kind of went under my radar. Announced back in May, but I didn't pick up on it till today, actually. Tiny Titan Studios in London has announced their next game, Rogue Souls. At Rogue Souls Game on Twitter. It's an action roguelike coming soon to PC. Today, they revealed the first gameplay trailer. So there's a little 30-second clip up on their YouTube and on Twitter and everything. Yeah, it feels like Moonlighter to me. I don't know if you're familiar with Moonlighter, but it's a roguelike sort of dungeon crawling game. You have different swords and abilities, and you clear a room of enemies, and then a chest appears. You open it to get loot. I will say, Steve, my first impression was Rogue Souls. Like, come on, that's like they're just taking the two most popular genre names, like Souls-like and roguelike, and making it one thing. Never judge a book by its cover, but I will say Rogue Souls is like developed in a lab. What is the two most searched terms on Steam?
That's what I was going to say. It should help with SEO or whatever.
It should, and maybe they're pulling a huge galaxy brain move here, and I don't get it. But yeah, they said it should be available in early 2021. Of course, Tiny Titan Studios, famous for their mobile and PC games like Tiny Rails, Tapsmiths, and Arena Stars, to name a few. They've been making games since 2014, doing very well for themselves. And yeah, watch this little trailer here and tell me what you think, Steve.
I like it. It looks really smooth and faster than what I'm kind of used to, or at least what I was thinking. I'm wondering if there's like a combo kind of system going on, and it's very chaotic. What for the 20 seconds or so that they show, which I'm down with. It also says 1 to 4 players, so that's kind of cool too.
Summoned to the Nexus, the god of fate's trials awaits. Secret rooms, hidden passageways, and certain death lurk as you hack and slash your way to salvation. An RPG roguelike. There you go, Steve, right there in the name.
Beautiful.
I think the 1 to 4 player I'm imagining would be like local co-op, but they I don't know if they've had a lot of online play in their other games. I think Arena Stars
was online, yeah.
Okay, so if they got the experience there, maybe it is online co-op, which would be pretty cool. And in one of the gifts they have on their press kit, there's like Link's 4 swords, where there's like 4 of the same character, different colors. So I think that's the co-opness.
It says, so I don't know if Steam could obviously be updated. So if it says like single player, shared / split screen co-op, full controller support, remote play together. So that seems to think that it'll be like on the same screen or whatever.
Same screen. I mean, on Steam you can do their couch co-op feature, and it is essentially doing the same screen, but Steam's handling everything. The game doesn't have to.
Yeah, I like the little character too, the little flame head. It's cool.
Yeah, it's cute. I like it, and we should add it to our wish list, Steam.
Do we want to do it right now? Yeah, let me boot up Steam.
Pull up Steam, because as you know, dear viewer, Every developer is beholden to the almighty Gabe Newell and his Steam algorithm, who determine what games get seen and what games perish.
Is it only announced for Steam right now?
I believe so. They don't have a page for it on their press page. So I can only go from the tweet that says PC.
Here, hold on. Let me do the test. I search Rogue.
Mm-hmm.
They don't come up.
It
doesn't look like.
Search Souls.
Undermine came up though. Rogue Warrior, Rogue State, Rogue Fable 3, Rogue Trooper.
Oh my god.
Rogue Glitch.
Too many games, Steve.
Rogue Stormers, Rogue System. Okay, so they're not doing too well on the Rogue part. And what is it? Souls? See, it's going to be a bunch of Dark Souls.
It's just going to be all the Dark Souls
Beyond,
games.
Tormented Souls, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Mortal Shell, Dead Cells. I have a question about Dead Cells for you, actually, by the way.
Okay.
I don't see. Yeah, they're not. So you know what? We gotta add them to the wish list. Help them out. Get them. I mean, they're not coming out till 2021, so it's fine.
They got time.
But I don't know if also when you search things if it prioritizes games that are already out, because Steam makes $0 off of wish listing and all this shit.
Mm-hmm.
So they want to obviously drive you towards games that they can make money off of
immediately.
So, but I added it to my wish list.
Excellent. All right, last bit of news today I want to highlight for the viewers and listeners at home, because of course we are on YouTube now. Beat Blast is a Music Maker bullet hell game coming to Steam Early Access on August 14th. This is a 2-person Toronto studio. The main conceit of the game is you create sort of like beats and notes, kind of like if in Sound Shapes when you drag the notes onto the grid, like the sheet music, and then that dictates like the firing pattern of your little twin stick shooter character.
Oh,
so you make music on the sort of sheet music thing, and then that becomes your abilities in the game, so you can customize your output when you shoot and fire at enemies that way. And then you can add little items that like give little musical flourishes, and of course all of this is to the beat of the music. It's a really cool idea, and it looks really pretty. They're going to Steam early access for, let's see how long they say here. We plan on being in early access for 1 year, depending on what the community wants to see in the game. It could be shorter or longer. We want to have a great time. We want to have a great game with lots of gameplay variety to make each playthrough unique. So it's, again, entering Steam Early Access August 14th. You can add it to your wish list. And I will say, Steve, an astoundingly good Steam page. I think this is probably, dare I say it, the best Steam page I've seen so far doing this show with you.
Holy crap. Really?
I'll link you. I'll link you to Beat Blast.
I just searched it. I had it open.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah.
They have a free demo on their website you can play now to decide whether you want to get it in early access. They have their Discord there, and they have GIFs all the way down about all the different ways you customize your character. And at the end, they have some cool art. I like your character's kind of like a little pool cue ball with arms and legs, which is he's fun. And yeah, it's a really, really good Steam page.
What are these? I see a bunch of like icons. Are these like the power-ups that you get?
Yeah, so you can like shoot a bunch of bullets out from you at once. So you can see in the trailer here in the bottom left is the sort of sheet music, and you're dragging the notes around like with your mouse as you're also using your mouse to do like the twin stick shooting part of it. Yeah, it's a really cool, really fun take on on two genres I think that have been, done quite a lot. So yeah, it's cool. I dig it, and I will definitely be picking it up on the 14th. Do you want to add it to our wish list? Are we going to do a multiple wish list news segment this week?
I'm down. I just did.
Excellent. What do you think looking at the trailer?
No, I agree with you. it looks, as someone who's not musically inclined in any way, shape, or form, it looks a little daunting and confusing to me, if I'm being honest. But it looks fucking cool as hell, like twin stick shooter, and so are you controlling the little thing in the bottom left corner as well as your guy, or?
Yeah, I think because I can see the mouse sort of go over it and like click the different like quadrants on the sheet music. I think it's kind of like sound shapes is what I'm thinking in my head.
Yeah, sure. I'm excited to kind of give this a shot because
yeah, it'd be really cool if it feels really fluid and you're like, I'm picturing like bumping my head while I play, because that's what I did while I played sound shapes. I was trying to like time my jumps to the beat.
Yeah, I'm also playing it like I don't have the music on right now because we're recording, so I feel like I'm missing part of it, obviously. And you're right, the Steam page is quite good.
It's really good. Yeah,
what does it mean by partial controller support?
Partial controller support? I don't know. Steam is still learning about this game, so let's see. I clicked. Oh, when you click it, it just takes you to the other games.
It's all other games. 15,000 games.
Yeah. It'll support English UI and full audio for French, Italian, German, and Spanish, which I think just means you can listen to this music in any one of those languages.
Yeah.
Yeah, Woolly Walrus Games in Toronto.
Yeah,
there's a free demo.
They've been around for a while, so.
Excellent. That's it for the news this week. If you want us to cover your game, studio, event, whatever you got going on, contact CanadianGameDevs.com. Now it's time for Wishlist This, Steve. Inspired by the frequent wishlisting of games while we were talking about them, like you just heard. We introduced this segment a year ago, I think this month. Or maybe really? Last month. Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm trying to find the first one. Oh no, I'm way off. Ignore me.
Did we already pass a year, or?
Yeah, we're past a year.
You missed it.
It's been because it was when Brett was still on the show. I introduced the segment.
Right.
But regardless, people kept wishlisting games while we were talking about them. So every week, I highlight 3 upcoming Canadian-made games that Steve has to add to his wishlist right now. First up, Wytchwood by Lee Vermeulen, aka Alien Trap in Toronto. Wytchwood is a crafting adventure game set in a land of gothic fables and fairy tales. As the old witch of the woods, explore strange countrysides, collect magic ingredients, brew sorcerous spells, and pass judgment upon the capricious cast of characters. What do you think, Steve?
I forgot about this game. I remember it getting announced because I've met Lee quite a few times. And he's a good guy, and I liked Cryptarch and some of his past games and stuff. And I remember this getting announced. I was pretty hyped because the studio always seems like it was working on quite a bit because they have like a VR mod box, like Gary's Mod type of game, and a few other things. So they always seemed like super busy, and I felt like I was always writing about them like every couple months. And I've now just realized that I kind of like forgot all about them, and I guess maybe they've gone a little silent the last little year or so. But this is
working
sweet.
On this.
Yeah, that's true. I remember seeing this, and I'm hyped for it. I'm glad we do this section because I totally forgot about this game.
It's got a great art style. I love the little character portraits. They're very like stylized in a way, not Disney, but like it's got a great style. If I was better at describing art, I would be able to tell you the style it's reminding me of. But yeah, it's currently tagged as casual RPG with crafting. So if those sound like genres you'd enjoy, you can check it out. And I will say, TBD 2020 and no GIFs in the Steam page yet. There's still time. Lovingly rendered with a storybook art style. There you go. I think storybook. Yeah, I picture like kids. This is like kids illustrations, like the Stinky Cheese Man book.
Stinky Cheese Man.
You don't remember the Stinky Cheese Head book, the like kids book that blew up, won a bunch of awards?
No, I don't think so.
That's the art style now that I'm thinking of. And that might not be quite right, but it is that kid book art style.
They do have another game in development that we can. I don't know. Should we save it for another wish list?
We'll save it.
Okay.
We'll save it.
We'll save it. If you click on the developer name, you'll find the other game. But
spoilers for future wish list this segments. I have to ask Steve: is Wytchwood on your Steam wish list?
Yes, it is.
Excellent. All right, next game for wish list this week, Shishi, Ballad of the Oracle by Shishi Studios in Montreal, Quebec. You can wish list it on Steam, releasing TBD. Explore, fight, and solve puzzles in this adventure role-playing game set in a colorful world filled with cute creatures. Travel with an oracle named Elia who must develop her self-confidence to awaken the power that sleeps in her.
Oh man,
What do you think, Steve?
What if I don't have self-confidence?
Well, you gotta make sure Shishi does, or Elia does. Yeah, Elia.
Oh, it's turn-based RPG. Her
eye is a clock. If you watch the trailer, like her right iris has like the long and short hand.
Oh yeah, interesting. Yeah, I'm obviously getting some Wind Waker vibes with this.
It's the cell shading, I think.
Yeah, but also even the hearts in the bottom left corner.
Oh, true.
And the character still kind of looks like good Steam page too. Must say, got the gifts.
It is. It is a good Steam page.
Yeah, I could be down for a cute little like turn-based RPG. Kind of gives me the vibe. Did you ever play those games? The Halloween RPGs. What the hell are they called? From that studio.
Costume Quest.
Yeah, Costume Quest. Did you ever play that?
I did.
Getting that kind of vibe too with it.
Mm-hmm. It's got some like platforming elements I see too.
Yeah, the classic sliding the ice or whatever. But it looks like you kind of freeze the ice or something. So I don't know, but I'm down. I like it.
Are you so down that you would add it to your Steam wishlist?
I am.
Excellent.
TBA, I guess. It's still or TBD, no release date yet.
No release date yet, but that's fine. Take your time. It'll be at and I will be covering all of the games at the Indie Mega Booth, which is normally at Gamescom. They're doing an online one this year, kind of like Amaze did, where there's like a digital recreation of the show floor, and you can go up to booths and they have like trailers and demos of your game you can like play in their browser.
Oh.
Yes, I'm pretty stoked for that. God bless them, on their list of studios put the country it's from. So I just control F Canada, and I found like every single one, because they never do that, Steve. I have to Google the game name or the studio name, and then try and find like a LinkedIn if they don't have it on their Twitter, and it's the worst. But here they just put the country the game's from. Mwah.
This is their first game too. It looks like.
It's got. I like the platforming part. I think would appeal to me more than the platforming puzzle solving, more than the turn-based RPG.
That's fair.
Last game I want to show you and describe poorly, hopefully okay, to our viewers is Wicca from Auto Exec Games in Varennes, Quebec. Hadn't heard of that city before this game, so I had to spend some time on Google Maps.
I was going to say, I don't know where that is either.
Wicca brings you to a mythical 16th century Scotland during a period of witch hunts and tribulations.
Oh.
Control time, plan strategies, and command allies to stop the cursed legions from invading Hoggindale. Planned release date, all caps, coming soon. Don't ask. Gifts in the Steam page. Very Unreal Engine, definitely looking game. Your witches taking on just some hordes of weird, creepy monsters. And yeah, there's a story, a co-op. I think it looks like up to like 4 other witches you can play with. Inspired by Scottish folklore, fight against numerous creatures. Inspired by rich and variegated Scottish heritage. Och, hey, lads and lassies, is right beside that. A skill tree, an original OST. Well, I guess the original in OST stands for, you know what I mean. The O in OST stands for original, so it's a little, the Department of Redundancy department.
Yeah, like when you say SMS message.
Or chai tea. Or naan bread. Because naan just means bread in Hindi, I think.
What's chai tea? Is chai tea?
Chai is one of the major languages in India for tea.
Oh.
Yeah, so when you say chai tea, someone who speaks that language just hears TT.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I learned the naan thing when I worked at the Indian restaurant. It was like, can I have some naan bread? And they would all giggle, and I was like, what's wrong? And they're like, buddy, naan just means bread. And I was like, oh, okay.
You want some bread, you stupid Canadian?
Stupid kid. The stupidest moment was I left that job and got a job at Boston Pizza, and I wanted to come back and say thanks for giving me my first job and everything. So I brought like a pepperoni pizza back, and they're like, oh, buddy, we're Muslim. And I was like, well, like, there's pepperonis. I was like, oh my God, like you worked here for 3 years. We celebrated Ramadan with you, idiot.
That's funny. We were like, my bad. I guess I'll just eat this delicious pizza.
Oh, I did. I came back with a cheese pizza though. I'm not a monster.
There you go.
But I don't think they liked it. Boston Pizza doesn't have really good pizzas, in my opinion.
What? I love Boston Pizza.
The spicy pierogi is the best pizza on the menu.
I like the meteor one, which is it's literally just like a dead animal, like dead pig. Yeah, it's awesome. But
it's like 2 pounds of meat.
I know, but Boston Pizza was like the go-to place for Heather and I because there was one like near us, and it was like we live in a pretty. And I'm not saying this like in a bad way. Like we live in a pretty Asian area, and so a lot of the restaurants would be Asian. So if we wanted something that wasn't Asian, Boston Pizza was really the only place we can go to walking distance. It's not really true anymore. And I mean, Boston Pizza's gone anyways, but it was like our go-to because they also play sports and stuff like that. So they do play a lot of sports. I know, I love it. I have a soft spot for Boston Pizza in my
I could get that. I probably have less of a soft spot because I worked there for a year and saw how everything got made.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, actually that's not true because I love Taco Bell and I worked at Taco Bell.
Oh, but like but Taco Bell's so cheap. You know, you got the party pack, you get friggin' 24 tacos, chips, quesadilla, 2 drinks, and it's like $20.
Yeah. If anything, you just know, like when you work fast food, you just know they're all like that. You're just like, okay, well, whatever.
So when I go to Boston Pizza, I'm like, I'm not paying $30 for a medium Boston Royal pizza that I know how it got made. Like, I just can't in my head.
That's fair.
All that to say, Wicca, developed by Auto Exec Games in Varennes, Quebec. Scottish folklore co-op. Lots of cool things, cool ideas being explored here. Can you think of another Scottish setting game?
No, that's what I was thinking. Like, I kind of dig that. Like, it's taking like a historical time and just like kind of fucking around with it.
And you are the witches during the witch hunt, and just
I know. It was, like the first part of the trailer is you shooting like purple like shit from your hands, fighting demons. So I was like, oh, they're going full into this. But I'm to be honest, I don't know anything about the history of Scotland and witches in 16th century Scotland.
Me neither.
I know more.
I mean, I saw Brave. Like,
yeah, yeah, that's pretty much it. I didn't even see Brave.
Oh man,
I just really even that history. Like, I really just know of the Salem and stuff, and like
what about Braveheart?
Braveheart is apparently super historically inaccurate, isn't it?
Probably.
I mean, I don't know. The point is, this game looks pretty fun.
Pretty cool, exploring a setting and inspiration that I haven't really seen in a game before.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's very ambitious. Lots of gifts in the Steam description. And Steve, I gotta ask, is Wicca on your Steam wish list?
Wicca. Yes, it is.
Wicca, indeed. That's it for wish list this week. If you want to get your game into this segment, please send it to us. contact@CanadianGameDevs.com. Or any other way, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We check all those messages. TikTok. I made a TikTok today, Steve.
I saw. I commented.
You were my first like, too. I was just perusing through, and it was like, tan line check. And I was like, oh, no, this is me. This is the trend for me. Because I've been wearing the exact same pair of sandals. I said 3 years in the TikTok, but I think it might be like 4 or 5. But I switched it up at one point. I don't remember how long ago.
Aren't they?
So I have a solid strip of tan just on the top of my foot, and then just the pastiest skin surrounding it where the sandal straps cover.
Aren't they stinky? Like, aren't the sandals like kind of smell bad by this point?
I give them a little scrub. But actually, when I say the exact same sandals, I mean when they wear out, I take them into the shoe store, put it on the counter, and I'm like, give me this exact same sandal, and I buy it again. That's what I mean by same sandal, is I've been wearing the exact same Birkenstock with the back strap and belt or like the buckles on top since I can remember. But this pair in particular, at least 2 years.
Did these sandals save your life or something? Like, why are you so?
They're just the most comfortable sandals I've ever worn, and I really I like them a lot. I highly recommend them. They're overpriced because it's Birkenstock, but yeah, with the back strap too. Because to me, I'm a very aggressive walker, so I'll like slip. They'll slide off while I'm kicking my foot forward. It's a very me problem to have. But
I'll be honest, I'm not even like really that big of a sandals person. Like, I don't even have a pair of sandals. So
I at this point only have a pair of sandals.
oh my god! I mean,
Yeah.
to be fair, my feet are size 15, so just finding shoes is just a world of a pain in the ass.
Check the Birkenstock website. If they have a 15, you should definitely give them a shot. 'Cause what if it's just the comfiest? What if it's just the comfiest shoe you've ever worn in your life?
I have no reason to need sandals though.
But it's so nice out all the time.
Well, we're not allowed to leave the house though.
You're not. Dabs in Nova Scotia.
I went to the gym this morning actually, so we're still allowed to leave. We're in stage 3, so.
I walked to the iced coffee with my girlfriend because I'm not as health conscious as all my friends.
Is it just like business as usual out there now? Like, do people
No,
wear
so you
masks?
have to wear masks indoors and everywhere, huge signs every door. Nova Scotia law, whatever, mandatory masks inside, which is the only real big difference. Other than that, select movie theaters are open. There's like 2 open, not the one closest to me, of course. And yeah, it's essentially business as usual.
Yeah, I want the movie theaters to start opening up again, so my Cineplex stocks kind of
Go up.
yeah.
I want the movie theaters to open up because I really like going to movies, and they did it. They did the one that's like it's like an hour and a half bus for me, like each way, so it's not worth it. But
Yeah, that's
they
rough.
did special $5 tickets, like for whatever movie you wanted, like not even the newer ones in quotes, like before everything shut down. Those are still in theaters, but then they're also doing like Jurassic Park, Back to the Future, Inception, Batman, and like
Yeah, they're really like hyping up the few movies that came out this year that like before the shutdown. Like I just keep seeing ads for like Sonic and
The Invisible
Bad Boys.
Man.
Yeah.
and Bad Boys for Life too, or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So I saw like that ad. For me, I mean, there was this thing where it was called Stars and Strollers, where like as a parent you could take, like they would have like Wednesday during the afternoon you could take like babies and stuff to the movies, but the movie wouldn't be like baby movies, it'd still be like adult movies. Not adult, like what am I trying to say? Like not scary movies, but not super violent, so just like I don't know, like
Just
like
normal-
Sonic. Yeah, like Sonic. Like
Yeah.
movies that like adults would want to see, but you could still like have them with kids and stuff. Like babies who don't know what the hell what's going on. So she was going to that quite a bit, but I don't think they do that anymore. I haven't been to the theaters since Bad Boys 3 or whatever the movie was. Yeah, I see now like Empire Strikes Back, Jaws, Karate Kid, Wonder Woman.
I like the Karate Kid reboot. It gets a lot of hate, but I think
With Will
it's Jade-
Smith.
No, Jaden Smith.
Or yeah, I meant Will Smith's kid.
Yeah, it's
This-
good.
This is
have
actually
it
the
on there.
Karate Kid with the original Karate Kid, which I've never
Yeah, the
seen. I've
OG.
never seen the original one.
Well, you have to watch the OG one before the new one because there's some jokes where, like, in the OG one, he like grabs the fly with the chopsticks, and then in the reboot, he like goes to grab it with the chopsticks and then just fly swats. It's good. Anyway, hot take of the week, Steve. We don't really have a lot. There was a PlayStation State of Play, but there weren't any Canadian games shown other than Godfall has a couple of Canadian developers in it. Yeah, we talked about it in the Discord a little bit. I think the big thing on my timeline, everyone was like, wait a minute, every Hitman game all the way back, including the new one that's not out yet, 3, is going to support PlayStation VR. Like you can play the whole game in first person. It seemed like, as far as like technologically, like implementing that and getting that working seems like the biggest flex from that stream, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, now just whenever PSVR news hits, I'm just like, oh, I don't have my PSVR anymore because
Right.
they showed that Vader game too, and I was like, fuck, this looks awesome, but
It does.
I just don't have the hardware to play it.
They
And,
gotta be supporting it with PS5.
yeah, like PS. Actually, they just showed that they just announced what like stuff will work on PS5, and the VR unit will work. It's you just the camera. I think if you get a PS4 camera, you need like an adapter. You need to like order an adapter.
But they give it to you for free, right?
Yeah.
Because the Kinect did something similar. If you bought an Xbox One S, they got rid of the Kinect port, so you just send them the serial number of your new Xbox and the Kinect, and it'll send you an adapter for free.
Yeah.
So they'll probably do that with this, for like send them your PS camera serial number and your PS5 serial number, and they'll send you an adapter.
Yeah, exactly. And Move controllers will work, which is kind of like crazy because like the Move
they're PS3.
They're PS3 things, and they have the old USB like plugins too, which is annoying. But yeah, I mean the state of play was fine. It was whatever. Like there wasn't really. It's funny because they announced like before it, they're like, don't expect big PS5 announcements, and I'm like, you guys are just shitting all over the PS5 announcements in there. Like if I was a developer, if I was like the Pathless or whatever, I'd be like, oh, we're not a big.
That's also coming to PS4 though.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Was there anything that was PS5 only? I was just like, what
Godfall.
a weird.
Isn't it
like,
Godfall?
Well, yeah. So yeah, I would just be like, oh, we're not a big announcement. You get like, why don't like just announce the fucking price of the console already and
2 months, Steve.
I know, that's crazy, right? Like it's August 8th. This thing's coming out before Black Friday. Like that's the absolute last day, right? Like it won't be released after Black Friday in the States, which is like mid-November. So it's like we're 2.5 months away from this thing. So it's just like anyways, we don't need to reiterate. We've been talking about that for a while.
We don't need to reiterate. I will say oh, you go first.
No, I was going to change subjects, so wrap it up.
Oh, I will say I like how they straight up ripped off the Nintendo Direct format down to like the slideshow where like the panels to the right are like blanked out to like, ooh, what's going to be the next slideshow? And then it slides in and reveals itself exactly like the Nintendo Direct.
I know. Well, this whole thing is like basically Nintendo Direct, right? And it's like these things happen so often now that people are just like automatically disappointed. It seems like you can't just like have a big bombshell announcement every 2 or 3 months. It's kind of
Gamescom's in a week or two. They're gonna do a big live stream.
Yeah, exactly. And
like Geoff Keighley on his Game Awards YouTube channel doing like hands on with the PS5 controller, and it's an hour-long video. I was like, oh my god, dude, no one, you can't sustain this level of excitement about anything.
Isn't PAX Prime? When PAX Prime be now?
It's always the weekend before Labor Day.
Yeah, so when that would be happening this month too, and they would announce stuff. I'm guessing they're going to do a PAX Online or some shit.
Oh man, it's going to be an absurd fall all around.
Just tell me how much money I need to take out of Sophia's school fund so that I can buy this stupid console. Anyways,
my question. You're gonna say something.
I think I've asked you about Dead Cells before. Is Dead Cells an RPG? Like, do you level up in Dead Cells?
No, you unlock items that then become available for randomly dropping in later runs.
Because it's on PS Now, and I've kind of eyed it a few times.
Oh, it's really good. I highly recommend it.
Yeah. How long? Like,
allegedly you can beat it on the first run, right? But it took most people. I still haven't beat it. I've gotten to the last fight that I know is the last fight because I saw it at a Games Done Quick speedrun. I've gotten to the last fight like 3 or 4 times, but I've never beaten it.
Yeah. I don't know. It's on PS Now. Like I might jump to it, but it's one of the games I've been eyeing for like a long time. Where I was just like, this does look cool, but I just don't know if like I'll play it like once or twice and then just be like, just move or whatever.
It's quick. It's really fast action platformer. It's got a cheeky sense of humor too, where like the main character only communicates in like motions, so like they'll like shrug or thumbs up or shake their head. I like the like cheekiness of the game, and it's also a studio in France that's part of a trend lately of entirely like lateral studio ownership, where everyone has an equal stake, gets an equal amount of revenue from the company, and has like equal voting rights, kind of like Co-op in Montreal and the Glory Society, which is a bunch of the Night in the Woods devs. And there's a couple other ones I'm seeing pop up, which I think is just a really cool way to get around the issues with labor in the games industry, and is a very appealing to getting talent into your studio, like you from day one with like usually there's like a 3 month like whatever probation period, was like you will have the same voting rights, the same, you get out what the game does sales wise equally from everyone else. Like that just sound like that could tempt people away from other offers at studios where the climb to that level would be a lot longer.
Yeah, but I wonder if it's like if you're a like if you're in one of the job roles that would be paid more, like a developer, if you would kind of steer away from that, because it's just like I'm assuming it's sort of taking the median average. So like a QA person or whatever community guy makes more than typical, but then like a developer and the CEO for sure like make less. But I mean, they've been around for 19 years. How long have they done this the whole time? Or I'm just on their Wikipedia page right now and I'm seeing it. It looks like they spun out another studio after Dead Cells did so well, and so there's some people still working on Dead Cells, and then the new studio is working on something else. Oh no, sorry, the new studio is working on Dead Cells, Evil Empire, and then Motion Twin, the original studio, is still working on. Yeah. No, that's cool. I mean, it's pretty neat. It's and I was telling you about that thing, Aeon developers or whatever from the PlayStation thingy, where they basically said that the company like stole that game from them and stuff, and it's worth looking into that. I'm always, it's always interesting to see different companies do different things with how they reward their employees. So
yeah, I was reading about, speaking of hashtag game dev paid me a couple weeks ago, that all of the Blizzard developers put all their salaries in like a big group spreadsheet.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And some recruiters at Riot Games saw that and were like, wait a minute. And we're just like, come over here, like literally a couple minutes away, and make way more for the same job because we pay our employees better.
I know. I'm sure hiring managers were just salivating at that time.
And then so now on Blizzard's end, they're like, oh my God, everyone knows what our employees make now, so they can just poach like Blizzard, right? This is Overwatch, Warcraft, Diablo. Like these are the people you want working on your games. And so they're in full panic mode at Blizzard HQ, trying to placate a bunch of their developers who just realized that A, for the same role, they're getting paid differently than their colleagues. B, a lot of the people who make the game function and come out on time and not be buggy mess aren't even paid a living wage in the cities they live in. And C, management makes like 400 times more than like the median wage at the company. And like, not even in video games, but Bobby Kotick, Activision Blizzard CEO, is the most overpaid CEO in the world.
Yeah,
and to do that math, you like look at what the company's worth, what they make, what the average employee makes, and what the CEO makes. And for any industry, not even video games, he's the most overpaid CEO in the world.
Yeah, I think he owns like 40% of Activision Blizzard, or whatever. Could you imagine, like just that alone? Like
absurd.
It's kind of crazy. Like
even shareholders were getting mad at him, and they were like, "You need to be paid less."
Yeah, and once the shareholders, start doing
that's all they really listen to.
But the thing is, like, if he represents 40% of the shareholders, like, I don't know, he might just be able to fucking do whatever he wants.
It's absurd.
Kind of crazy. Where's the city? Where is the? You mentioned that they're paid way less than the city they live in. Is it like in San Fran or whatever? Or
one of them, they have a couple studios, and the one with Riot I think is Los Angeles.
So expensive as cities.
Yeah, very expensive city, and that also like some of the people who had left Blizzard for League of Legends. For Riot Games. We're on Twitter like, I told them what I made. They're like, we'll pay you 30% more for the same job. And they're like, duh. And they just left.
Yeah, they're bounced. That reminds me of, I won't mention the companies, but like, I know someone who was basically a hiring manager at one company and hired like, I don't know, basically 50 to 60% of the staff there. And then that person left to go work at another like Toronto startup. And she became like the director of HR there, and she was like, I know exactly like how much money they're all making. We could just poach them. Like I know what they make. And then basically I knew a lot of people who just like basically jumped shipped because they knew how to like go after after the employees or whatever, because they knew exactly all the information. So the fact that this like list leaked or whatever, or not leaked, or was just released, probably has got hiring managers gotten pretty happy this last week, just being like, oh my god, thank you, we can beat this easily.
Makes you think, Steve. Maybe we should all be a little transparent with our salaries internally. And
yeah, I mentioned that before, where it's just, for me, it's like something that I rather just keep to myself. Like, as long as I'm happy with what I make. And I've been in times where I wasn't happy with what I make, and I did want to be more transparent. If someone were to ask me, I would keep it to myself, but I would do everything. If someone's unhappy with their pay, I would do everything I can to help. But for me, it's like, I just rather keep it to myself, as long as I'm like happy and can support my family and all that stuff. But I understand how people don't want to do that, because I wasn't like that always.
If this leads to raises at Blizzard and a bigger sense of, worker solidarity between like QA and the design leads and like everyone who works there and makes the game, I think that would be the best outcome.
Aren't QA people usually contract workers too? Not like,
depends on the studio. Apparently at Activision it differs for different like companies. Like the COD people are like a full-time QA, because that's like a live service game. And part of this report in Bloomberg was a lot of the QA team couldn't afford to eat at the Activision food court on their salary. They were making minimum wage, right?
Yeah.
And they couldn't afford to eat lunches at the food court, so a lot of them would bring like 60-cent ramen or like instant make oats and stuff, and just steal hot water and eat at their desk.
Damn, how expensive was this? California minimum wage is $10.50 US, which isn't that bad, but it's also, California is super expensive. So,
and paying for rent and food. And again, these are all, verified but anonymous reports from developers, right? But apparently multiple developers at that studio were like, yeah, none of the QA can afford to eat here. So at the studio cafeteria just boggles your mind.
Yeah, no doubt.
Anywho, that's a pretty hot take of this week. And I didn't even have to play the Soviet anthem once.
No, you're leaning towards it pretty quite a bit, I feel like, though.
A little bit. Let's talk about what we've been playing, Steve. Didn't stream it this week, but I would like to stream Undermine this week, and we can try and stream The Forest, which we were talking about before the show, which is just continually topping the PlayStation digital downloads, and a sequel coming out soon.
Did you buy The Forest?
I don't know. I'll have to check. If I didn't, I don't mind. It's like $20, whatever. It looks cool.
Look who makes money over there.
No, I just am a lot easier to spend money on an indie game than although I did buy Ghost of Tsushima and I wish I didn't. But
yeah, me too.
That's besides the point.
I wish I waited for the sale.
Yeah, I wish like, I don't know, in a year from now it'll be like 30 or 40 new with like the red label on it, like PlayStation Hits or whatever.
Yeah.
You just get it then. It'll be the same game. It'll be better because they'll have patched a lot of stuff.
All the patches and shit, yeah.
Pre-ordering games isn't the way to go anymore. I'm realizing more and more.
To me, I got caught in the hype, and this happens like fairly often, where it's like, it's not even the marketing hype, it's just that everyone else is talking about the game. So I see shit on Reddit all over the place, people on Twitter. My friend was playing at work and he loved it. He platinumed it in like a week. So I'm just like, fuck it, I'll just buy it. And then I don't really, like, I try to wait, and numerous times I don't. Like, I tried waiting for God of War, I tried waiting for Detroit Become Human, I tried waiting for lots of games, and sometimes I was wrong, sometimes I wasn't. And this time with Ghost, I'm just like, I wish I just waited, because it's like, I'm not really feeling it. I played a little bit more this week, but still just like, it's the game that I play like an hour, and then I'm like, okay, I'm good for like another couple days. I don't need to play this.
I haven't played in like a couple of weeks.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, I have no motivation to go back and play it.
How far are you?
I don't know. I'm not like halfway through first act, maybe.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, I did play this past week Fall Guys with you and the Chris's.
The Chris's.
I got 2 back-to-back wins with you guys, and then you're at what, 6 wins?
I'm at 6 total. I have never won have I won two in a row? I might have won two in a row, but I've never won three in a row.
The platinum's still at 0%, which means that someone out there is missing one of those two hardest trophies.
I think. Oh no, actually, that one's good. I think one of the ones that takes forever is. No, someone has that one too. Interesting. Qualify for 500 rounds. Not many people have that.
It's the time sink more than anything.
Reach level. Oh wait, here we go. Oh, you know what it is?
What?
Oh, only one person has this. It's equip a legendary body color, pattern, upper and lower costume piece. I don't know if I guess enough pieces have come out that you can get it, but I don't know how this person got it.
Maybe they spent money because you can just buy the kudos.
But I think the only legendary items that have been for sale are the Hotline Miami stuff. Yeah, the crown stuff. And specifically the two Hotline Miami stuff, but this requires you to have 4, and I don't think there's anything in the battle pass. So I must be wrong. There must be something somewhere, or it's glitched or something like that. But that, and then 50 cosmetic items from the store. Only 2 people have that. So it's going to be a hard platinum.
You're gonna try. You probably get stuck on that 5 in a row and then give up out of frustration.
I'm going to keep playing it. And if I get 5, like if I happen to get that 5 in a row, I will go for it. But I'm not going to stress myself out. If I win 3 in a row, then I will, like, you know what I mean? To be honest, I saw like the Onion article or Hard Times article about this, where it's just like the trophy for completing 5 matches in a row without getting disconnected.
For like starting 5 matches in a row.
Yeah, without getting disconnected, and I'm just like, because that's the thing. The game's great. It's Mario Party basically. I like how it's like
Battle Royale.
I like how it's shorter matches. You know, you can play even if you make it to the 5th round. Like the whole match will take like 15 minutes, and I love that. But yeah, it's just having server issues. And I went to buy some shit too, and I was just like, you know what? I'll let you get your server shit figured out first. Then I'll buy it.
Yeah, no, they got hit. I think 1.5 million people connected the first weekend. Their concurrent users was like 200,000.
Yeah, and I understand. It's just that I'm not going to throw money at people who are like unable to keep up with the server stuff right now.
Yeah, it's not there yet.
Yeah. So, but once, like, if I'm still playing in like a week or two when the server, I'm guessing, is a lot better, then I'll jump in. I'll give them some cash. They got a bundle or whatever for cosmetics.
If they're still having connection issues like 3 months from now, then we're in a different conversation.
Yeah. But it's pretty dope. Some of the games don't hit that well, but other games are really good.
I like it a lot.
Have you? What's your least and most favorite game?
My least favorite game is the memory one, where there's a bunch of panels and they like flash on and off to show you what fruit is on, and then they'll show you a fruit on the big screen. You have to stand on that panel. Yeah. I always just go where the most people are and just hope we're not all wrong.
Yeah, and I saw a GIF actually where someone actually won with like on that one because he was the only one that picked the right fruit or whatever.
Oh man,
and I'm the same one.
Cool.
I don't pay attention, and yeah, I just like follow the crowd basically.
Yeah, that's my least favorite, and my most favorite is probably the race one where it's like the slime is slowly rising.
Yeah, slime climb or whatever.
Yeah, I've got to the point where like every time I play that one, I finish first, and that's actually how I got the trophy for. You have to taunt right before you finish.
You have that one?
Yeah, because every time we play that match, the very first ramp up, there's a like bouncy pad you can jump on and actually skip up, which no one uses. So I did that and just like flawless. Like I video recorded it. I flawlessly went through the whole thing, got to the top, and I was up there for like 2 minutes before the next person came. And like I was just taunting the whole time I wave and then cross to get the trophy.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Really good.
I tried doing that one in a race where someone was maybe like a half a second behind me, and I did it, but I think you have to do the full emote because I didn't get the trophy. So
next time, Steve.
That's fine.
Well, what's your favorite and least favorite Fall Guy minigame?
I think I agree with you. Maybe not slime climb. I kind of like the hexagon one with the platform that disappears or whatever.
That one's chaos. That one's Tron. You're like trying to cut people off.
Yeah, exactly. I've seen someone online who they say like if you just like fall straight to the bottom one and then just sort of like do a circle, by the time everyone falls down, you'll have like you'll be fine. But if more than one person does that, then you're screwed.
Mm-hmm.
But I like that one. That's where I got most of my wins as well too. So I kind of have a soft spot for that one.
I've gotten second place on that one so many times because I always get my win on the one where you run up and have to grab the crown.
Yeah, true.
That's a good one. Anyway, Fall Guys is great. It's free on PS Plus for another month. Everyone should download it. Yeah, and you've also been playing Undermine. You mentioned at the start of the show.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Out now on Game Pass and Steam.
Yeah, I did the Game Pass because I basically just go and do Game Pass and use a Bing, like my Bing subscription or whatever, or Bing like rewards.
Your Microsoft rewards, yeah.
Yeah.
Points or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Pay for it with that. And then I play the game, whatever game I'm playing, because I was in a Halo mood not too long ago. And then I just like unsubscribe because I'm just like, whatever, I'll subscribe whenever I feel like it. So I did that again. But I'll probably keep it this time. But yeah, Undermine is like a lot of fun. I'm only like an hour into it, but it's a good time. Not like too crazy difficult. And I kind of wish I had multiplayer though. Is the only thing. Like it seems like a game that would really fit well with multiplayer, and I don't think it does. I don't know actually. Hold on. Let me quickly check to make sure it doesn't.
While you quickly check, I'll say that what have I been playing this week? I've been playing We Are Doomed on Switch. We're not going to talk about that till next week, so stay tuned for impressions. That on Steam. Played some more Panzer Paladin. Still hella hard, hella good. Highly recommend. So good, Steve. That game is tight.
It's awesome.
The game is pixel perfect platforming.
I know I don't think they've announced a PS4 edition, but I think I'll just hold off for a PS4 edition instead of getting the Switch one. Because, no, Undermine is completely single player, but it's still, like, really good. I got to, like, kind of the first boss and died and whatnot, so I recommend checking it out. I mean, Game Pass, it's like the fucking... Anyone who doesn't have Game Pass, I don't know what you're doing with your life, but...
You probably have a Mac and a PS4.
But it's dope. It's a lot of fun. And yeah, like it's my type of roguelike because you don't have a level, but you get new gear and stuff like that. So there is like a little bit of progression. So it's good. And then I'm going for my Last of Us 2 platinum run. So I finished day one or whatever. So
game's too long, dude. Game's too long.
You know what? Here's what you do so you don't feel like it's too long. You have a baby that you don't play the game in front of. And then you can only play when she's asleep. Bonus points, she won't sleep. And then you just have an itch to play it all the time. So you kind of want it to be long.
It really does feel like a prestige TV show where it should have been like each day should have been an episode released over the course of like 4 months.
That would have been cool. I think
that would have been really cool.
I mean, I don't want to spoil it, but it definitely does have like a part 1 and part 2 built into it, and I think it would have been done pretty well if you did part 1 and part 2.
Really far apart, you mean?
Yeah. But you have you released part 1 like back in February or whatever, and then part 2 would have come out now. I think that would have been pretty cool, especially because like the halfway like cliffhanger is like pretty neat.
It's a good cliffhanger.
Yeah.
I was hanging on the cliff.
I know. And I think that would have been pretty cool, but I still like it a lot.
Oh, I like it. It's the biggest technical flex in PS4 history, in console history. There'll never, ever be another game that does the tiny random shit that game does.
Last of Us 3?
No, please make something else, Naughty Dog. For the love of God, please make something else. Last of Us 1 was so good. If you just disappear for 10 years, I don't care, and make a new game. And
I think
you're beat the shit out of your employees.
I think we'll see Last of Us 3 though.
No, Steve, don't say that.
But I also think like Uncharted's coming back, but it won't be Naughty Dog. I wonder if like we'll see Last of Us 3, but it won't be Naughty Dog. Like I feel like Naughty Dog can just work on whatever the hell they want. But there has been a lot of blowback about Last of Us 2 that I wonder if like Sony's kind of a little bit of afraid of just dealing with that shit because it sold really well.
Before, it sold really well, and that's the only thing shareholders care about.
It's true.
And it is still the fastest selling Sony IP ever, like launch weekend or whatever.
Probably, yeah.
It was like almost 5 million copies.
I did see Ghost of Tsushima is like killing it in Japan.
Doing quite well. In Japan specifically?
Yeah, Japan specifically, it's like the highest. It's going to be the highest selling first party new IP
Huh.
this generation. I think beating out. I don't remember, but I
Some
saw that.
JRPG.
I'm trying. Maybe Bloodborne might have been the top one. I don't know.
Ooh, I should play Bloodborne again. You know what, Steve? If the PS5 launches with Ratchet and Clank and the Demon Souls remake, I'll get it.
I don't think either the. Well, Demon Souls isn't a launch game, is it?
Is it?
I don't know. I don't think
Have
so.
have they even said what the launch games are?
No, I think in that state of play, we really only saw what was like early 2021, or sorry, 2020. So we're like, okay,
Right.
well, that's pretty much launch. So I think like Spider-Man is early 2020. So
I think or you mean holiday? Like whichever one said holiday 2020 is a launch game, probably.
yeah, sorry, not early. Like, yeah, holiday 2020, I think, is Spider-Man. And even a game like Resident Evil is early 2021. But I don't think they've said, day one, here's what you're playing. I mean, there's a solid chance that on launch day, it's going to be Assassin's Creed Valhalla and some Sony
Spider-Man,
game.
Miles Morales.
Spider-Man and then just a bunch of PS4 games. Which
And
Assassin's
probably
Creed
they'll.
technically is.
I hope they do like a PS Plus launch. Like Resogun was my most played PS4 game at launch. The game was so good. So I
Yeah.
hope they do some indie that they can do in the free month for that month.
I think that'd be cool. I'm wondering what they're going to do, because they used to do. You would get two games for each system, and then now it's just 2 games for PS4. So I wonder what they'll do when PS5 comes out.
With like 100, how many million people have a PS4? They'll probably keep the PS4 ones for a while.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, maybe there'll be like 2 PS4 and 1 PS5 game.
Yeah, you know what's really annoying this week?
What?
Sims 4 was PlayStation Plus a while ago, but I had EA access when that happened, so I couldn't like quote unquote buy it. And then Heather wanted to play Sims 4, and I didn't have EA access, so I had to like rebuy EA access because I couldn't have bought Sims 4 when it was PlayStation Plus. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get what you mean.
So
That is dumb.
yeah, I don't think there's a way to, because I don't know if there's other game, if that really applies to other things, because it's not really like PS Now, like you don't really own the PS Now stuff either. You just download
No,
it.
you just have a
EA
save file.
Yeah, whereas I remember like EA Access, like I remember this, like I couldn't. It would just say download to PS4 or whatever, because it was already kind of owned by me, quote unquote, because of EA Access. So, anyways, whatever. EA Access is only like $30, so it's not really that big of a deal. It's a good deal.
That's it for what we've been playing, and that's it for this episode of the CanadianGameDevs.com podcast. It's been episode 150. What did I say? 4?
4? Sounds about
Yeah,
right.
154. Thank you so much for listening. If you want to help us keep the site running, all our channels covering the Canadian game dev scene, you can support us over at patreon.com/Canadian Game Devs. Shout out to our new $5 supporter, Sean Hayden. Thanks so much for your support. If you want to be cool like Sean and get shout outs at the end of every episode, as well as occasional game key giveaways, discount codes for Canadian gaming events, a special channel on our Discord, and early access to the podcast, you should do that. Because then we'll include your name at the end here with these lovely folks. Thank you so much to Aaron McLeod, Elizabeth Avery, Hanel, Jean Leggett, Jeff Shepstone, Jeffrey Canham, Kai Hutchins, M5 Games, Nicholas A. Zorko, Nav from the Academy of Games, Pixelnots_Alex. Check out the jobs at that studio. Sean Hayden, who we mentioned before, new patron, Slaughter Neko, and Stacy H. If you listen on Apple Podcasts, please leave us a review. We'd love to take your feedback. If you're not on Apple Podcasts, send us an email with any of your feedback at contact@CanadianGameDevs.com. If you like the episode, share it with someone you think might also like it. Or as Steve said last week, share it with someone you think might hate it, with absolutely no interest in it whatsoever.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you really hate someone, and you,
Two dudes talking about Canadian games for a while.
yeah, and just make them listen to it. Just be like, here you go.
Strap them to a chair and like pull their ears open like that. What's that horror movie where he like squeezes their eyes open to force them to watch stuff?
I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a big horror guy. Is that Saw or whatever?
No, I don't know. I haven't actually seen Saw.
Or wasn't it? What's the one? Get Out? Is it Get Out?
That isn't the scene I'm thinking of, but there is a scene like that where he's like in the chair.
Yeah.
Oh man, and then when he's in the chair, like the hypnosis happens with like ear stuff, right? So he like picks the stuffing out of the chair and like sticks it in his ear, but he's like it's like a cotton stuffed chair, and the whole conceit of it is like it's a story about race in America, and he's like literally picking cotton to escape. It's good. Oh my god, that movie's so good. Anyway, that's an aside. Everyone should watch Get Out, and then watch Us. Us is really good too. Thank you so much for hanging out with me this week, Steve. Where can people find you online?
Stephen L. Crane on Twitter and Insta and TikTok, and that's it. But Canadian Game Devs, go there.
Go to @CanadaGameDevs on Twitter, CanadianGameDevs.com for all of your news, events, jobs, and more. You find me on Twitter @Stephen Riley, and also on TikTok @Stephen Riley. I have some content I want to put on there. I find some funnies sometimes, and I'll share them with you there. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great week. Stay safe. Play Super Crush KO, and we'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
Ciao.
Oh, you know what we should do? And
What should we do, Steve?
The Forest. Did you buy The Forest?
Oh, no, I didn't. It's been the top of PlayStation digital downloads every time I go on.
I have it like on my thing, and the only reason I didn't start playing it is because I was really balls into Lawn Dark.
Lawn Dark.
Heather was like, "Oh, is this Lawn Dark?" And I'm like, "No, this is another Canadian developed like survival foresty game."